All right, this whole semester we've done stuff to help you prepare for number 3. And number 3 says to complete the ordered pair so that it is a solution of the given equation. So what we're actually doing is we are going to be substituting. So remember that we have ordered pairs x and y. So if we have ordered pairs x and y, only one of the variables is giving you the number and the other variable is the one we're going to be solving for. So if I know that that second number is a -2, they're telling me that my y is -2, and they want me to plug it into this equation and then find my x. So I have x minus 4, and instead of a y, I'm plugging in a -2 inside that y. And again, how do we know -2 is a y? Because an ordered pair, the x is always first and the y is second. They didn't give me anything for that x, but they did give me a -2 for the y. So once I plugged in the -2 for my y, I'm going to solve for x. So I have x, and a -4 times a -2 is a positive 8 equals 4. So x plus 8 equals 4. Subtract 8 to both sides, and x equals -4. So that means to complete that ordered pair, I'm going to have a -4 for my x and a -2 for my y. Okay? Now notice there's a part B. In part B, they tell me that 4 is an x. Now how do I know it's an x? Because in the ordered pair, the x is always first. So when I plug it back into the same equation, I'm going to have 4 minus 4y equals 4. I plugged in a 4 inside of my x. Now how do I get the y by itself? Well, I'm going to move everything away from it. So I'm going to subtract my 4 to both sides. So I'm going to have -4y equals 4 minus 4 is 0. Divide both sides by -4, and y equals 0. So to complete that ordered pair, 4, 0 is the completion of that ordered pair. Okay, so all we're doing is substituting. This whole section is nothing but substitution. So I hope this is not too hard for you. I hope you don't have any problems with it. It's not that hard of a section. So let's substitute, and I'm going to label these A, B, and C so you can find my scratch work. For my A, I'm going to plug in a 0 for my x. Now notice that they tell you which ones are x's and which ones are y's. You don't have to think as hard about it. So the first, I'm going to have y equals 1/3 x plus 2. That's my equation that's given. And I'm going to plug in a 0 inside of my x. So I have y equals 1/3 times 0 plus 2. Anything times 0 is 0, so y equals 2. So 0, 2 is my first ordered pair that I completed. All right. For B, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to plug in a -3 inside my x. So I have y equals 1/3 times -3 plus 2. Now when I have a -3 times a 1/3, the 3's are going to cancel out. But notice that this is negative. So that's like having a -1. So 1 times -1 is -1 plus 2. -1 plus 2 is just 1. So when I complete this ordered pair, I'm going to have -3, 1. And the last one, for C, they want me to plug in a y when it's 0. So if y is 0, I have 1/3 x plus 2. How do you get the x by itself? We need to move this 2 over here, so I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides. And I have -2 equals 1/3 x. How do I get rid of the fraction? Remember, to get rid of fractions, you can multiply by the denominator. And that cancels the 3 out. So I have x equals -6. So to complete that ordered pair, I put a -6 in its place. Now, how can I graph this? This part actually told us to complete complete the table and then graph the equation. How can I graph this one? By plotting all of these points. So what I'm going to do to plot the points is I'm going to start at the origin, and the first point is 0, 2. So that tells me I go left or right 0, and I go up 2 units. So that's my first dot. The second dot is negative 3, 1. So I'm going to go in the negative direction, 1, 2, 3 units, and go up 1 unit. So that's going to be my second dot. For my third dot, I have negative 6, 0. So I'm going to go to the left 6 units, and that's in the negative direction, and I don't go up or down any. So this is my third dot. Now on your homework, some of them are going to have just dots like this. Some of them will actually be connected. So whichever one they show you is the one you're going to actually pick, but this will be the only one that has this line, okay? Now the last example, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, even though we'll have a longer video. But on this last example, we're doing the same thing. I have x equals negative 5y as my equation, and I'm substituting these 3 points. Notice that they want me to substitute in when y is 0, when y is 1, and when x is 10. So for my first one, they want me to substitute when y is 0. So x equals negative 5 times 0. Well, x will be 0. For my second one, they want me to substitute when y is 1. So x equals negative 5 times 1. So x will be just negative 5. This one seems to be pretty easy. I like this one. And then for the last one, C, they want me to substitute when x is 10. So when x is 10, negative 5y is what I have left on the other side. I need to divide both sides by negative 5, and that means y will be a negative 2. So this one ended up being a pretty easy problem. Let's go ahead and plot these points. Now the first point to plot is 0, 0. That's at the origin. So if we're plotting it at the origin, that means I don't move any left or right. I don't move any up or down. For the second one, negative 5, 1, I got to go to the left in a negative direction 5 units and then up 1 unit. So this is going to be my second dot. For my third one, 10, negative 2, I'm going to go in the positive direction 10 units. So I'm going to the right 10, and then I'm going to go down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then down 2 units. So this could be what it looks like for your graph or the connected dot one. So this is your 6.1 section on graphing, and 6.2 will be the end. I hope you have an easy time with this. If you have any problems, let me know.